Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance. All backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Welcome to the Dogs Podcast with your hosts, Blake Reniker, Justin Shawls, Kenny Mack, and Josh All. We all dogs!
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Josh All, Kenny Mack with you tonight.
Let's go, baby.
Training
camp, man. The vets are in. Let's go. This is the season of New Hope, our favorite time. Let's go, baby.
The summer break, the summer drought for content and football stuff, it's over. All the players are in Berea, ready to go, ready to get training camp fully underway. Obviously, we had rookies and quarterbacks report last Thursday, so we had a little bit of practice, highlights, and some things, whatever. It wasn't anything crazy over the weekend, but this is the week, man. Things are going to kick into full swing toward the end of this week and then into next week.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I mean, it was a really quiet off season. And, you know, we were talking before this, like to try and drum up content. We were listening to other podcasts and noting that they were giving tips on golf swings. And that's how boring it's been. But every year we always complain, you know, we aren't boring. We got all this stuff that happens in the off season. And guess what? It's not happening. That's not happening at all. And it's kind of good, even though it sucks when you're a content creator.
It does. But like Kenny was saying before the show, it's nice that we didn't have to put our lawyer hats on this summer and try to figure out what, you know, these charges mean or this potential felony for this. Nobody got arrested. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Thank God, man. Yeah.
Really, the only drama, we'll talk about it here in a little bit, was just over the weekend or whatever, a couple days ago. What is today? I don't even know what day it is. Tuesday.
It's Tuesday, man. Tuesday.
We do Tuesday lives. I can't even remember what day it is. Anyhow,
yeah.
It was. I had a crazy day. But anyhow, Jeudy popping off some weird stuff on social media. It got weird and then not weird and then he made it more weird and it's like Jerry freaking Jeudy, man. But anyway, we'll get into that. We'll dive into that tonight. Yeah. We got a couple training camp predictions we want to go through. We were hoping we were going to have all four of us tonight. Justin, sick kids. His wife's working, so I wouldn't trade places with him. Blake got home late from something or whatever, so it's me and Kenny. And we're going to do these training camp predictions. We've got some, I don't know, what would you call it? Like pre-award type things. We're going to give like who we predict to be the MVP for offense, our biggest surprise, our biggest bust, all that kind of stuff. So
it's all the stuff that gets thrown out there when training camp's done, basically. And we're going to try and like figure out maybe who we can think might get those things.
Should ask you this before the show. We'll do it live. Do you have the list of who won those last year?
Oh, you know what? No, I do not. I might be able to figure this out as we talk.
You go for it. I'm going to plug some promo real fast. You look that up while I do it. But listen, guys, if you're listening right now, whether it's live or after the fact, you got to go to jointhedogs.com, get into the Patreon, become a Dog Pack member so you can sign up for fantasy football. If you want to play fantasy football in our leagues this season, time is running out. I know I've been harping on it pretty hard here recently, and that's because we're gonna have to cut off registration probably. What is today? Yeah, probably about 2 weeks at the max. So I don't even know what date that is. We'll put it out in the next episode. But just get in now. Just get in, fill out the registration, so that way you're good, you're in. I'm going to start creating the league. So if you already have registered, the invites will be coming soon, probably in the next couple of weeks or so. We'll start figuring out the leagues and getting everything ready to go because it's training camp. We got preseason games coming up. Hall of Fame game is what, next Thursday?
Yeah, right? It is, man. I can't believe that. I was just catching up on a bunch of different podcasts today, and I can't believe where July went, number one. Yeah. Number two, like, we're obviously happy the veterans are reporting today, but I can't believe that's happening. And then right around the corner, like you said, preseason starting. I can't wait. I'm going to be down for the Bills game. Let's go.
Yeah. Yep. And I'll be up at, me and Justin will be up at training camp actually next Thursday on the 6th. So if you guys are up there at training camp and you see us, say, hey, what's up? We'd love to meet you. And then again, that night is Hall of Fame. So, I mean, it's going to go quick. Once training camp starts, every year, it's like we wait. It gets here and then boom, it's season. So that's why fantasy football, if you're going to play, if you're even thinking about it, you're interested, just play, man. It's a ton of fun. We've got people in the dog pack with all kinds of experience levels, people that have been playing for decades, and people that are like, hey, this is my first time ever playing fantasy. I just want to try it out. Like, that's awesome. That's so fun. So everybody's great in there. There's some rivalries that build up if you're into that kind of thing. Like, it's a good time. So let's jointhedogs.com. Kenny, did you find, well, actually, you don't have to read it right now, but did you find that list?
No, I did not find the list. It's like good, I tried looking it up, and I tried looking it up through AI. AI is just making stuff up. It's just
AI is good for some things, not so good for other things. But
yeah.
So before we dive into the other stuff we're going to talk about here tonight, we got big news just a couple hours ago. So I feel like there's always breaking news on days that we do live shows, and I love that. Denzel Ward. I didn't even have time to make graphics or anything for the show tonight. Like, it just popped up. Got his extension. So for anybody that. And we've talked, we've speculated, could he get traded after they traded Myles Garrett back on June 1st? Well, is Denzel Ward the next one to go? That was the big thing. And I mean, it was a legitimate concern. Is this team in a fire sale? Are we trying to just, compile all these draft assets and move our veterans and all this stuff? So Denzel Ward gets a 2-year extension. What was it? $62.2 million extension. Makes him the highest paid cornerback again in the NFL. So he's already been the highest paid DB once in his career, and now he is again. I believe it was Trent McDuffie is at $31 million per year, and this puts Denzel at 31.1. So they just got him there. They just got him that title. But it was good on the Browns. I think, Kenny, we'll get your opinion here in a minute, but Denzel Ward's been one of the absolute best players, honestly, that we've gotten to watch in our lifetime, my lifetime for sure. I'm not as old as you, as Blake always likes to point out, but
yeah. Hey, I got some years. I actually seen some winning. I've seen some good players. Hanford was a dog, but this guy is a special beast, man. Just if you can think of one play, him sliding through the legs, I think of a Bengals defender. Nobody's ever done that. That was wild. And that's one of many things that make that guy special.
For sure. And I know, So what it was, I think it was $52.3 million guaranteed. I believe that puts him also at the highest or the most guaranteed money for a DB in the NFL, all that kind of stuff. So the Browns are rewarding Denzel for just years now of spectacular play, 5-time Pro Bowler. I believe he has the most PBUs, pass breakups, in franchise history. He's one of the league leaders among active players, on defense in that category as well. He's not like a big interception guy, and I know sometimes he'll get knocked for that, but you got to understand quarterbacks just don't go that way. They just
same with when Revis.
Where Denzel Ward is, you typically don't want to go.
Yeah, it's Ward Island. It's like Revis Island. It's the same thing. You just don't throw their way, and if you do, like the Steelers did at the end of the game, second last game of the year, it was an interception.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. And, whenever I post anything about Denzel Ward or there's any Denzel Ward news, if anybody's going to be negative, it's always the comments of, well, it'll be 3 games until he's hurt and, he's going to miss half the season and all this stuff. And Justin's talked about this a lot on the podcast over the years. So if you followed for a while, you've heard this before. But the injury narrative with Denzel Ward isn't really true. It's really overblown. We've talked about this. He's never missed more than 4 games in a season. And for a quarterback in the NFL, that's pretty good. These guys miss time every year, don't they?
Yeah, and especially coverage guys. Coverage guys aren't always the biggest guys. They get nicked up through the years, and it's always good for them, maybe in NBA terms, to have a little bit of load management, right? And it keeps him fresh through the year. It's, he has had his problems with concussions. We don't want to see that linger, so he needs to have some time off as well with those particular injuries. But, in the league, if you take a look at any corner, generally through a 17-game season, they're going to hit 14 or 15 games. They're going to miss some. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. So, and when he's on the field, and I've talked about this a lot too, but he plays at such a high level that when he's not on the field, it feels like, if he misses 1 game, it feels like 3. It really does, because whenever he's out there, there's a part of the field that just hardly ever gets attacked by the opposing team. And then when he's not on the field, now they can spread the ball all over the place. It's crazy how much of a difference he makes just being on and off the field. So good for Denzel. I'm really happy to have him locked up for a couple more seasons. This extension means to me that, hey, we're not just trying to get rid of anybody we can and get any capital, and there's no tanking going on here. No, let's just get rid of our good players and see what happens. No. This is, I think they really want to do a quick retool. Let's do it quick, turn it around, and get going. I don't think they want this to drag out for years.
That's exactly it, man. The money they gave him is they intend on keeping him. I mean, Myles Garrett's gone. Now he's the longest tenured Cleveland Brown. So you're building a young roster. And the one thing that we keep doing, and I keep hearing on this show, is that we got to cut all the veterans. That didn't really work in 2016, 2017. I didn't really like that at all, right? We have a proven veteran, so let's keep him. And coverage is incredibly valuable. And you were kind of getting at that, right? When you're trying to develop a young defensive line, having him back there is going to make a big difference. It's going to make a big difference for Rutenberg, because he needs to keep some veterans as well. You know what I mean? So that's a huge point for me. I think they're going to keep him. But the other thing is they're obviously buying him now. They're not buying him in 2028. This 31.1 million a year or whatever he's getting, that's not what it's going to be if we start negotiating at the end of his contract, which is at the end of 2027. So we got those 2 extra years loaded on, and then that might mean some more cap management for us, because we've added 2 additional years to his contract, and then we can further do some more of the cap management that Barry does. But this is typical Andrew Barry. Let's sign him now for top dollar when he's already on a contract, so we can have that value now, not in 2028. And that's what I really, really like about it. You get the other end of it, we're signing him to trade him later. I don't really think so, based on the first thing that I said. I think he's going to be kind of the face of the defense right now, or the longest tenured Brown on the defense right now. So giving him the $52 million now might be, I don't want to say a bargain at this point, but it's better than what we're going to have to pay him if we were started negotiating this in 2028 and 2029.
Yeah, I think that's all totally fair. Great points. And the biggest thing about this is we don't have any depth at quarterback anyhow. So, if we don't have Denzel Ward, our secondary shot. And that's, no disrespect to Tyson Campbell. He's a great player. But even if it was just Denzel Ward out there with no Tyson Campbell, we'd be screwed. We need those 2 guys. And after them, we've talked about it. You and I have done this a ton on shows. The cornerback depth is bad. It's so bad.
Yeah. And they're rolling the dice on a guy that they just brought in that had won maybe half a great year, and what's his name, Damari Mathis, and
yes.
Maybe that can translate into something. But really,
so.
I'd like to see another piece there. So I don't know what they can do in this training camp, but we do need some more help there as well.
Yeah, and back to Denzel, or keeping here with Denzel Ward for a couple more minutes. Jake Burns, Browns Film Breakdown, he had a nice post earlier that he kind of broke it down like this and said, Denzel Ward's trade value is not what fans think it is. Fans are like, oh, well, we need to get 2 firsts for No, he's an almost 30-year-old cornerback with some concussion history. What's the trademark? I mean, there's a trade market, no doubt. People would want him, but you're not going to get back the value that he's worth to the Browns, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
He's worth more than what another team's probably willing to give up.
I think they're just buying the last 2 seasons, period, really. I think they want to keep him here. He's not like Miles. He's not like Miles. He didn't go on Radio Row and say, hey, I want to get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Yep. He's always said that I want to be in Cleveland, and he's backed that up. He just hasn't said anything different. I just don't see him leaving. He likes it here, and that's where he wants to be. And the Browns have paid him as such.
Yeah, and I love that too. I mean, obviously, you want people that want to be with your organization, and that's Denzel Ward. So, really happy to see that. Coach CJ here in the chat says, "Are they keeping Grant Delpit?" Let's talk about that one too, real quick. Grant Delpit's obviously on the last year of his deal, looking for the extension, and that was kind of the other one being talked about after Myles Garrett got traded. It's like, are they going to get rid of Denzel? Are they going to get rid of Grant Delpit? I believe that the Grant Delpit extension is also coming. I think that'll be next. Obviously, we want to lock down Denzel. He's one of the elite cornerbacks in the NFL still. Grant Delpit's a safety, don't get me wrong. But you want to make sure you get Denzel's contract ironed out, and then you go and you attack things with Delpit. But what do you think? Are we keeping Delpit?
You have to if you're going to run a 3 safety system. Right. You have to do it. We've got into this discussion before about Emmanuel McNeil-Warren and when he's going to crack the lineup. It doesn't matter. He's going to play. He's a good player. And when you run a 3 safety system, he's going to be out there. He's going to get snaps at nickel. He's going to get snaps as a 3rd safety. He's going to get snaps in the box. He's going to get snaps everywhere. That being said, we're talking about Grant Delpit right now. We need Grant Delpit as a leader in this backfield, and we need him as a leader for the safeties. And he will just make things a lot better because he's the veteran. And we said we need veterans. We can't cut everybody. We can't cut and trade all the veterans. It doesn't work out. You need guys with experience in the backfield. Does it mean he might play closer to the line of scrimmage? Probably not as much if Emmanuel McNeil-Warren's in there, but he is a vital piece for Mike Rutenberg's defense. I think locking down the Warden was imperative, and I think maybe we just might see some kind of thing happen with his deal where he gets restructured down the road. So maybe then we can bring in Grant Delpit, and that's the way the dominoes seem to be falling, but we'll see what happens.
Hey, still working 23 in the chat. Yes, we do read super chats, and sometimes we read non-super chats, just depending on what catches our eye. But if you do a super chat, we'll definitely read that for sure and talk about it. But so that was the big news today. Sorry, I got like a hair or something. What's going on here? Like I said, crazy day. I had the kids all day. Oh my gosh. Single mom. You guys rock. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Any
no kidding, man.
Yeah. Whew. All right. Enough of that. But so Denzel Ward locked up. That's great news, honestly. Like for the first day of training camp, get everybody together. Awesome. Just great to hear. So hopefully Delpit's news will come next. And we got, training camp position battles is really the main thing to iron out some of this roster. And I guess we can talk about that a little bit.
Did you want to quick though, based on our text message conversation, do you want to jump a little bit into this Baker stuff, or do you want to jump into?
Yeah. So, I mean, we can just mention it, get a little bit of feedback here from the chat. So if you guys have an opinion on what we're about to talk about, please drop it in here just to give us a little bit of sense on how you're feeling. So the Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield, obviously, number 1 overall pick for the Browns in 2018 and all that. We know what happened there. So he's on the last year of his deal in Tampa Bay, kind of like he was with Cleveland. And what happened in that situation with Cleveland? He got hurt during the season and played the whole season injured, and the production suffered, didn't get his contract, blah, blah, blah. So last year with Tampa Bay, he got hurt, played the rest of the season hurt, production suffered. Now he's not getting his extension. Kind of the same situation popping back up.
Yeah. It's like literally 2022 all over again, but in Buccaneer form.
It really is. And so he gave kind of I don't know if it was so much an ultimatum, but when he was asked about it, he said, I want to get an extension done before training camp, because once training camp gets started, I don't want to be worrying about that. I want to focus on football.
Yeah, makes sense.
Now, it doesn't mean they still won't have. He might have just been trying to strong arm him a little bit, whatever. Yeah. But nothing happened. So they did not get an extension done. And if he holds true to that, then he'll table talks until later, which there's an avenue where he's a free agent in 2027, next offseason. And I think I've seen a lot of people on Twitter, X, sorry, can't stop it, saying like, bring Baker back, AB, get Baker back here in 2027 and all that kind of stuff. So I'm just curious how you feel about that idea of potentially getting Baker back. By the way, the analysts that I've been seeing have said, an extension for him or, a future contract could be anywhere north of $55 million a year for the quarterback position now, especially with, the way he's played the last few years in Tampa Bay. So with that number in mind, let's just use 55 million a year. And what do you think? How would you feel about Baker in 27? This episode is sponsored by Kalshi. All right, Browns fans, we've all messed around with the sports books before, right? And let's be honest, you're always kind of playing against the house. But with Kalshi, it's different. You're not betting against some sports book. You're trading against other real-world people. There's no house trying to beat you. Kalshi just runs the marketplace. So if you think the public is wrong and the Browns can make the playoffs in Todd Monken's first year, or Casey Concepcion, Denzel Boston, one of those guys can win Offensive Rookie of the Year, you can take the other side of the market, and then if you're right, that's a big payout for you. And it's not just sports either. You can trade on other real-world stuff, interest rates, inflation, even wild weather outcomes. It works like this. Simple yes or no markets, your risk is capped up front, and your payout is locked in. So if you trust your takes and instincts, and I know you guys do, go check out Kalshi and see what markets are live right now. So use our link in the description or just head over to kalshi.com/dogs, KALSHI.com/dogs, DAWGS, to earn up to $500 when you trade 25. Kalshi, because why shouldn't you guys get paid for being right? This episode is sponsored by Trollco. Browns fans, there's a phrase that has been used around the blue-collar world forever. Dirty hands, clean money. The idea that you show up, you put in the work, and you build your ideal life because of it. Sound familiar? That is Browns country. And Trollco is a clothing brand built around that very belief. Two guys who worked the oil patch looked around and could not find a single brand that represented people like them. So they started making workwear, tees, hoodies, and hats all by themselves. Gear for the person who works hard all week and still brings that same energy to the tailgate on Sundays. And I know I'm talking Cleveland in general, but Northeast Ohio is that blue-collar, work hard, earn what you have area. Whether it's you or somebody a family member, your dad, your brother, uncle, whatever the case may be, you guys know what that dirty hands, clean money phrase truly means. So check out what they have to offer. Head to trollco.com/dogs. That's TROLLCO.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use code DOGS25 for 25% off your first order.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.
I'm conflicted with it. First of all, I'll correct myself. It was the 2021 season, not 2022, that I just said that mimics his last season. And
it was 2022 off season when we traded him. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to make that.
That would have been his 5th year. Yeah. Or whatever.
Yeah. I just want to make that clear. But yeah, I would be, because I've been on here so many times. And the one thing that really makes me mad about Baker Mayfield is that he did not sit that season. He knows he shouldn't have sat that season. I just got done watching quarterback. And what did he say? Yeah, I should have sat. You should have sat. You should have sat in 2021, man. You ruined the season for us. You said the injury wasn't going to bother the results on the field. And it sure did, because you know what? I was at the Lions game when you warmed up. You could barely hit anything in the flats. If Case Keenum would have played that game, that was a very winnable game for you. You could have had a week off and you could have done a lot better for the rest of the year. But instead, I had to go watch you on Christmas Day throw 4 interceptions because you were too busy playing video games or whatever the narrative was or story was at that time. So I would have a problem with that, but I'll step my fandom aside. He's a decent quarterback. We got better weapons. I mean, I want a quarterback. I need somebody that can throw the ball at this point, whether it's Shedeur. I don't think it's going to be Deshaun, but anybody, just please give me a quarterback at the same time. Right. Like, I'm so quarterback starved. But long story short, really, I think that ship has sailed with Baker. I don't think he trusts Andrew Berry. I just got done, like I said, watching quarterback. That guy basically said, I was told I was going to be the quarterback, and then Deshaun's in. And you know how Baker, when he carries a chip on his shoulder, we have about a 1% chance of him coming here. That's why
I would put it at 0. That thing, it's not just a chip. Like, he tattoos and, brands it onto himself. Like, it's not coming off. If you followed Baker Mayfield, which obviously we did, as Browns fans, whenever we drafted him, this is not a dude that once you, in his mind, screw him over, he's not giving you the time of day ever again. I mean, he will hold a grudge and he will do everything he can to beat you, to rub it in your face. I mean, that's kind of been his career. He's sort of been an underdog everywhere he's gone. I know he was the number 1 overall pick and all that kind of stuff, but he had to walk on at 2 colleges. And after his time with the Browns, he was almost out of the league. I mean, the only way he got to stay in the league was to win a quarterback. This is how little they thought of him. He got like a 1-year vet minimum deal to come in to Tampa Bay and compete with Kyle Trask.
Yeah, $4 million.
That's what the league thought of Baker Mayfield at the time.
Yep. So, and now he's searching for his $55 million. So he'll probably be with the Bucs, man. This is all posturing at this point.
Yeah, I think an extension gets done. I don't think this is anything that we're going to be talking about too super long. What else are they going to do? They got to have a quarterback too, and you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you don't have one.
No, exactly. So I don't see it going any other way than them sticking with Baker.
Yeah. Still working 23. Thank you for the super chat. Says, cool. This is for every post and video that I've watched lurking in the shadows since Shedeur Sanders started against the Raiders. Great game, by the way. Kenny, you were there.
Yeah, I was there. It was freaking great.
I'm a Prime fan, which turned me into a Shedeur fan at Colorado. If he starts this season, I'll become a member here. Well, what do you mean? If he starts week 1 or just starts at any point? Because I guarantee you he's going to start at some point. I think it'll be week 1. I think it should be week 1. The Browns don't always do what we think they should do historically. Probably why we're in the situation we're in. But I think Shedeur is the best quarterback on the roster, hands down. I don't even think it's a competition. So whether or not and I know what people will say, even if they named Deshaun the starter for week 1, they say, oh, Shedeur couldn't beat him out. You're talking about a 10-year vet who knows how to practice, who knows how to put on a show in training camp. He's done it every year he's been here. Same song and dance that we've been through for 4 seasons now or whatever. It's going to fizzle out pretty quick. It always does.
Hey, man, those Pro Bowl seasons still are tempting to a lot of coaches and a lot of front office people, particularly in our building.
Ago.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you, though. Still working for the super chat. And I do hope you become a member here because, come on, Browns fans are awesome, right? Josh is a bit quiet. Everybody thinks my volume's too low. Can you hear me?
I can hear you great, brother. So I don't know what's going on.
Well,
sometimes that happens on.
I'll boost it a little bit. You guys let me know.
Oh, you know what? You know what? You sound great, but it just boosted on my end. So I don't know. I hear you great, but now I hear you.
There was an issue. Thank you guys in the chat. This again, doing it live, so I can't sit there and monitor the audio after the fact and make everything perfect. So I appreciate that. Let's see. They say I'll still working. Says I'll become a member if he starts anytime. Okay, thanks for clarifying. I'll super chat $100 if he starts week 1.
Whoa.
Okay. All right. I like that. Well, now I've got extra reason to root for him to get that job. But I guess if we're going to talk about real quick, before we go into like training camp stuff, talking about who's QB1, apparently, what do you guys think about the Jerry Jeudy video? In the chat, let me know what you guys think. Kenny will get your opinion in a second. So if you don't know, if you didn't hear what happened, Jerry Jeudy was apparently on a TikTok live. Now, I did not catch it live. I haven't spoken to anybody who did. The video that went viral was a screenshot, somebody watching the live, and it appeared that a question popped up on the screen that said, who do you want to be the quarterback? Or who do you want to start at quarterback, whatever, this year? And Jerry Jeudy goes like this, puts up 4 fingers, and kind of turns his hand around a little bit like showing, 4, meaning Deshaun Watson. Or so we all assumed. Now, I watched that video back a couple times before I posted anything about it because, I mean, immediately ESPN Cleveland, everybody ran with, Jerry Jeudy's out here saying he wants Deshaun. And if you watch the video, it's clearly cut and edited. So whenever he's putting up the 4, it kind of stops, and then it goes back, and the person, you can see him scroll up to that question as he's putting up the like 4 or something. So I don't know if they were trying to line it up to make it look that way. And Jerry Jeudy came out immediately after this thing went around the internet and said that was cut and edited. That's a bunch of crap. Like, he was not happy about it. And then he went back on TikTok live and posted another weird video with, honestly, I couldn't really even like understand what he was trying to say. Like, he was very incoherent about it. Obviously peeved about the whole situation, but just saying like, you guys are just trying to get in between the team and all we want to do is win football games and this and that and whatever. And it's like, okay, so it was clearly he was kind of being set up, or at least that's how it looked and everything. But then a couple hours later, he posts a picture on Instagram in the back of a car with Deshaun Watson, and they're holding up their watches on their wrists together in the photo. And I'm like, dude, you just spent the last 5 hours trying to convince everybody that you're not throwing in for Deshaun Watson. Maybe don't post that photo the same day. Yeah. I'm like, dude, your self-awareness blows, man. Like, oh my gosh. Kenny, what do you think?
You know what, man? I don't even really want to comment on it because I don't want to even deal with this. Like,
we don't need to talk about it too long.
It's so ridiculous that I like just him waving the 4. Like, I don't know. Like, does this mean it's Josh's birthday and he's my boy? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
the 4 is Jerry Jeudy was jersey number 4 in high school and college. His Twitter name is Jerry Jeudy 4. I mean, that's his thing. Okay, so
I thought it was self-promotion. Yeah, yes. I thought it was self-promotion.
Well, there were 2 other comments when that question came up about the quarterback. The comment right below it was wide receiver 1 season incoming, and the next comment was Jeudy was up. So he could have been doing this to either one of those. Like, wide receiver 1 come. I don't know. Could have been.
Yeah, and I think it was just self-promotion, and social media, it just goes off on it. Any time in life when you don't have the story, you see what happens. There's what really happened, and then people draw a conclusion in between it, and that's all that social media ever is, and that's all it's meant to be. And I'm kind of just saying in jest that I don't really want to talk about it, but I mean, really, at the end of the day, it's a whole lot of hubbub about nothing. And I don't think it means anything. He probably likes hanging around Deshaun Watson. And, that's why they were, matching watches or whatever they were doing, right? So,
well, and Deshaun Watson posted the same photo of the wrists up with their watches on his Instagram. I'm like, you guys are supposed to be the veterans at these positions. Yeah. The veteran quarterback getting paid $230 million. to start, and you're in a quarterback competition anyhow, whatever. And then Jerry Jeudy's supposed to be like the wide receiver one. You want to prove to everybody that you're him or whatever. Just, I don't know. Everyone wants to give, like, Shedeur Sanders needs to focus on football.
Yeah,
I know. I think that's why Jerry Jeudy doesn't hang out with him.
Yeah, I know two guys that should be doing that as well. So
that's
guys,
exactly
guys, get going, get in the training camp, and let's stop talking about this. Do something in camp. Catch that damn ball. Throw the damn ball. Let's go.
I'm a businessman here in the chat says, stop hating on Jeudy. We need another 1,200 yards from him. Listen, that was a 1 year pop off out of 6. Okay. So that 1,200 yard year, that was great, but it was really built on the back of 7 games with Jameis Winston. Outside of that, I broke down the numbers. I got a post out there on X somewhere, and I don't have it obviously in front of me, but the bulk of that 1,200 came in those 7 games. The rest of the season, he was hardly worth anything on the field, just like we've seen.
Hey, if Jerry Jeudy can do that again, great. But
that'd be great.
I mean, like you're saying, out of sight of 6 games, it really hasn't shown itself. So
no. The only thing he's consistent in is dropping the ball and leading the league in drops. Unfortunately,
that's got to change.
Annual thing. That's got to change. Yeah,
it's got to change.
I don't believe Jerry Jeudy is long for the Browns. I think he'll probably be here this year. Again, his contract is tradable. So if you see KC Concepcion and Denzel Boston take over early in the season, maybe there's a trade market for Jerry Jeudy around the trade deadline for a team that has a wide receiver injury that's trying to make a playoff push. And they're like, look, we need a veteran body in this room. Maybe the Browns can get something for him, and maybe they'll be willing to move him. But it's going to depend on the development and the progress of the other players. Isaiah Bond is in that conversation as well. So you got Concepcion, Boston, Bond. If those 3 guys can show like, hey, we're a competent wide receiver core, just us 3. And then obviously you got Fannin, the running backs. I don't know. Maybe Jeudy becomes expendable, but Jerry Jeudy leading the league as the alpha go-to wide receiver 1 target leader. He couldn't even be the target leader last year. And it was Gage Larvidan and, Harold Fannin was a rookie tight end, led the team. So I don't know. He's not that guy.
I don't think so, man. We need some leadership at that position, and that whole fiasco that we just spoke of is not a leadership thing. And he's got to wake up. Yeah,
exactly. And the thing is, like, I don't want to sound like some crotchety old guy. I don't care if you're out with your teammate on a weekend night or whatever, hanging out and whatever. I don't care. You're humans, you're people. Go have fun. Like, as long as you're not doing anything stupid, illegal, getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe keep different company, Jerry. But again, I don't have a problem with that. It's the self-awareness or the lack of self-awareness. Like, you don't just read the room. Read the room. You can't tell everybody that I'm not trying to support one quarterback over another and then go post a photo with that guy a couple hours later. It just makes no sense. It's stupid.
It's weird.
It is very weird. I don't get it, but whatever. So that's enough of that crap. Let's talk about some training camp stuff. Do you want to do the award predictions first?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So here's what we're going to do. And you guys in the chat can play along if you'd like. Actually, we would encourage it. So we've got different training camp awards. We're going to make our prediction just right now before things get started, who we think will be the winner of these categories. So first, offensive MVP of training camp. Kenny, I'll let you go first. Who do you got?
I actually have, I just lost it, but I have Dalen Sampson. And the reason is because, training camp is going to be a couple things. And a lot of people might base that off of preseason, but I think we have to unlock this guy with screens. I don't want to say necessarily trick plays, but we got to get him in space, right? There might be some jet sweeps, but one thing I always noticed with him is when you had a double backfield and it was Quinshawn and him, a lot of people gave that guy attention. Right. And I just think that he's going to pop off some big plays in training camp. And I think it could possibly be him.
That's great. And we've talked about this a ton too. That coaching staff last year had no idea how to get the most out of Dalen Sampson. They didn't know how to use him. They did week 1. It's like, wow, okay, use this guy just like that. And then they never did it again. But that was kind of Kevin's thing. He would find something that worked or something would work during a game, and then you wouldn't see it again. Like, maybe the rest of the season for a couple games. It's like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what it was. Like, they forgot what happened in the first game of the season against the Bengals. Like, that's what we wanted to see. You could have thrown a couple of those plays in. I think one of the big things that I said there is like screen game. I would love to see Todd Monken like develop a great screen game for this team. And I think he would be a vital cog in that. I mean, there's the outside zones and the other things I was getting into. But the other thing is like, I think Samson can put himself in a position not to only run the ball, but catch a ball from every single quarterback on this team. So that's the other reason why I think that he could be MVP, offensive MVP, that is, of camp.
Yeah, I like that one. My offensive MVP, I'm going to go with Denzel Boston, the rookie. I think
that was tough, man. I can see that, dude. I was like almost there.
If they gave out like an OTA minicamp offensive MVP award, I think he probably would have won it. From every beat reporter that was there, the people that I really do trust as well, that are, reporting on practices and things, said this dude just stood out, like catches everything and he's open. And that's the thing with Denzel Boston. I think a lot of people had maybe mislabeled him or pigeonholed him during the draft process. And I'm not talking Browns fan, I'm talking like the league. Looked at Denzel Boston, the body type, the play style, and said, you're Mike Evans, or, you're this outside boundary receiver, possession guy, 50-50 ball, and that's what you're going to be. And he can be. He is that. But I think Denzel Boston is more. And he's got better separation than a lot of those guys coming out of college already. And yeah, I think he's just going to get better. So honestly, I think the Browns got a steal getting this guy in the second round. I think he definitely should have been a first-round pick. And he's got the attitude and the mentality to be that type of guy where he's like, no, that's my ball. I'm bigger than you. I'm better than you. I'm stronger than you. And I'm going to show it. And I love that.
He's got the confidence, man. And you need in this league, you need confidence. And when you pluck balls out of the air like that, and you go up and grab them, you show that confidence.
Yes. All right. So let's move over to the defensive side. Kenny, who is your defensive MVP prediction for training camp?
I had a tough one with this because I don't want to pick starters because they don't always play, but I will have to go. You may have picked this guy too. Quincy Williams. Did you pick him?
I did.
Yes, I knew that's so I wanted to pick Schlesinger, but again, like he's kind of already showed, right? And I know I had a hard time with this one because I was like, oh, Josh is going to pick this guy. And so you guys know that we Yeah. You can say your stuff with him. I'll be quick. I mean, he's on a new team. And the part of the reason I picked him is because I caught up on a bunch of other pods today and he was being interviewed. And I just found him a fascinating listen to, number one. But he is psyched to be a dog. And I think what's his quote? I was a dog before I was a dog. Like that's his thing, right? And Rutenberg is like, he is so enamored with Mike Rutenberg. I think it's really going to show. I think the other thing is like, we're used to seeing Schlesinger be sideline to sideline. We got two guys, and I think it's really going to blow some people's minds. And I think he's fighting for another contract. I mean, I'll let you say what you want to say, and but that's what I think.
Well, honestly, if you've got more, you can do it because I do have a second person I can talk about. I listed a couple people for each one of these because I didn't at the time when I was putting this together. I was like, I didn't know if Blake was going to be here or whatever. So I wanted to make sure I had some names, but definitely Quincy Williams. I think fans are going to love this guy. I really do. If you haven't been paying attention, which I understand. I mean, OTAs and minicamp are that exciting. Quincy Williams, we just signed him, free agent from the Jets. He's got a history of Mike Rutenberg. And this was a guy that Kenny and myself, we both highlighted him during the offseason, talking about guys we wanted the Browns to go after in free agency. And we were like, look, if we don't get Devin Bush back, go get Quincy Williams, spend the money, get him in here. And they did. So we're pretty high on this guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. He looks like he is ready to hit some people, man, and that excites. I played linebacker, so I get it, man. He's waiting to pop off, man. He's waiting to pop off.
Yes, absolutely. So if I didn't go with Quincy Williams, I was just going to go with Jared Verse. New guy. I think that there's a lot of people that he's only been in the league 2 years, so there's a lot of people, media people. So however these awards end up getting, voted on at the end of camp or whatever, there's people that aren't as familiar with Jared Verse's game. He played on the West Coast, again, only been in the league 2 years. Maybe you're not that familiar. This kid can play football. This kid is a very, very good defensive end, and I think he's going to really impress some people with his leadership, his presence on and off the field, the way he just speaks, whether he's speaking to his teammates or to the media, doesn't matter. The guy just exudes leadership. And I think that it's going to be really hard not to notice him when he's on the field.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I totally agree.
Okay, so that was our defensive MVP picks. Let's go. The next one was what? Biggest surprise out of training camp?
Yeah, I'm going to stick to my guns. If you guys have listened to Josh and I, we went into a couple different players who we thought maybe might get a bit of a switch around. I think Josh knows what I'm going to get at. I'm going to push for KT Levinson as being a big surprise at right guard. I don't know if he'll necessarily win, but what I got and what I want to tell you guys, if you guys didn't watch what Josh and I did earlier, is if you look at his profile, I selected the one from Draft Buzz. Take a look at it. Read all his strengths. All his strengths are what a guard is. What does he play? Right tackle. He shouldn't be playing right tackle anymore. One of the biggest things that you will read on probably any scouting report when he came out in the draft is that he plays well in a telephone booth type space. That is what guards do. He's got short, sudden movement, and he should be an awesome guard. If he's not going to be right guard, and that may not be, I think he's going to stand out in camp, in the run game, and he could possibly be a swing guard. But I think they invested in him for a reason. They had to play him at tackle last year because we didn't have very many options. But if you, again, look at the draft profile, I think he's going to be a better guard.
I agree with you 100% on the KT Levinson. Obviously, we dogged him quite a bit last year during the season because he was horrible at tackle.
I did too, man. He was a turnstile, and that's what the T was for in KT. But I think he does have some football acumen and merit, but I just think it's at the wrong position.
That's fair. I think that's definitely fair.
And we got George Warhop.
Yeah.
So he can mold somebody.
Yeah, I'm just so happy not to have the old coaching staff. It's not like I like the guys we brought in. I do. And the pedigree and the track record and all that stuff for the new coaches. But for me, it's a lot of addition by subtraction. Just get those guys out of here. They didn't move the needle one bit on offense. And they were offensive minded guys, whatever. Okay, so biggest surprise for me. This one's probably my toughest one right now. I got a couple names written down here, and I'm debating which one I want to go with. I'm going to go with Parker Brailsford, and this might not be.
I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to go with that, so that's why I held off on them because I feel like it's kind of like everybody's starting to realize who this kid is, and I'll let you go into more of it, but I feel like he's just ascending just a little bit right now, and he's getting there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I got some more content, videos and stuff later this week that I'll be having come out for you guys about Parker Brailsford and all this stuff. But there's a lot of buzz right now. Terry Pluto, I think, put out a thing about him, and there's a very real chance that this 5th round rookie out of Alabama could be our starting center week 1. And he's bigger than he looks bigger than what he's listed. Everyone said, well, it's kind of one of his weaknesses coming out of college. He's kind of an undersized center. He's not that undersized. He's not the biggest guy, but I think, and then you watch the film, Mac Blank, shout out to him on Twitter. Make sure you guys are following him. Posts all kinds of great film stuff, and he did a whole thread on Parker Brailsford. I mean, this guy can maul people, and he moves. He's super athletic. What is he like? He was the most athletic center in the draft, right? Yeah,
I'm trying to remember his measurables.
Yeah, he was. He's a little bit light, but he's a strong dude. And if you can have a center, and we've said this before, that can pull, you are on the next level for your jet screen, everything that you can do in the outside zone. That is where you want to be if this kid can move like we think he can.
And one of the biggest things that stuck with me learning about Brailsford during the process after we drafted him and everything, he's always looking for the next hit. He doesn't just come out and block his guy and that's it. Second level is where he's trying to get there. He's always like, who am I hitting next? He's a tough-nosed dude. And watching the film on him shows that. I mean, I've been impressed. And I think that the Browns have been impressed. By all reports, they've been impressed. And that would afford the Browns to move Elgton Jenkins over to guard, where I think a lot of people have been saying like he plays better at guard than he does at center. He's not bad at center, but I would like to put the guy at the position where he plays at his best. And if you can do that with a rookie, if we found 2 of our starting linemen in this past draft, it's big. It's big for the Browns.
Yeah. That's huge, man. And I like Parker's Brailsford. I knew you were going to go that way. Obviously, if he starts, then you're going to have Elgton start at right guard. That's why I was a little hesitant putting KT there. Yeah. But I think people would be surprised if he had poor play at a tackle, but all of a sudden starts maybe lighting it up just a little bit in training camp at guard. That would also be a big surprise, right?
Absolutely, it would be. This episode is sponsored by Dash Dog Food. Browns fans, Butcher Box for Pets has rebranded to Dash Dog Food. Same great products, same great company, just a new name, a new brand, but with that comes an even better deal for you guys. Now you can get 60% off your first subscription order of the premium slow cooked nutrition dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Just go to dashdogfood.com/dogs, DAWGS, and use promo code DOGS. As you guys know, we're the dogs, but let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. And they're not just pets, like I said. They're part of the family. So the question is, what are you actually feeding them? At Dash Dog Food, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain 0 artificial flavors or preservatives. You get protein-packed formula that includes pre- and postbiotics to support your dog's vitality and their digestion. And speaking of the benefits of Dash Dog Food, Dash delivers their high-quality food right to your door. So just choose the delivery schedule you need for your dog, and you can change, modify, or pause your plan at any time. So try it out today. Your dog will love you for upgrading their meal times. dashdogfood.com/dogs and use promo code DOGS to get 60, not 50, but now 60% off your first subscription order of the premium slow cooked nutrition fresh dog food or the premium fresh dog food. Minimum purchase of $34, 60% discount applies to subscription orders only. One use per customer. Cancel at any time. Okay, so let's move into probably the least. This one I didn't even want to do. I was having trouble thinking of an answer for this, and I was like, I don't want to go. But anyway, biggest disappointment.
So I think you again
will be the.
I think you and I might be on the same page with this. I have another idea who you might say, but like I was going to say Cedric Tillman. I just don't know if the numbers are in his favor. With Denzel Boston being the big guy right now, I think you could have Malachi Corley become the second big guy, really. He would need to refine his route running a little bit, but between Corley and Tillman, they're a little bit different on the route running spectrum. So that's where I kind of like, I'm not sure about this one, but I think his time is kind of that ship has sailed here, and he might need just a new spot to kind of groom himself into an NFL player, because based on getting to receivers in a draft, that usually spells doom for someone who's been here for 3 years.
Yes, that's how highly the Browns thought of, the wide receiver room of Jerry Jeudy and Cedric Tillman. They used 2 of their first 3 picks on wide receivers, which is exactly what we wanted them to do. No, I'm with you. I think that's fair. I mean, he's been a disappointment since we drafted him. I was very high on Cedric Tillman when we got him. Never transpired to anything. I think. Who did you think I was going to say before I said
Zach Zinter? Because
I did not. Go ahead.
Oh, I said we've been talking about that a little bit, and I know Stacy popped it on one of your socials that you put up earlier, and I just thought that was going to be the guy that you were going to take for whatever reason.
No, I didn't. And the reason I wouldn't pick Zach Zinter for biggest disappointment is I'm not expecting anything.
Right.
I don't expect him to do anything, so he can't really disappoint me. He could surprise me, but he can't disappoint me. That's for sure. No, for me, okay, I got a couple names here. My first one, I put Mike Hall, ? Again, what am I expecting, to be disappointed by? Second round pick, it's been 2 years, hasn't really done a whole heck of a lot. I know sometimes he pops, and flashes on the field, but for what we drafted him to be, he's already been a disappointment. So I took a little bit different approach with this. I said biggest potential disappointment could be Mason Graham now before anybody jumps all over me here, if we start getting reports during training camp that Mason Graham is not coming along as much as people would have hoped, or he doesn't look all that much improved over last year, or it doesn't look like he's taking that big second year step or whatever, that would be a disappointment to me. And not because anything negative against Mason Graham, but because I do expect a lot out of Mason Graham. You're number 5 overall pick. You're top 5 pick in the draft. I expect you to be elite. That's what we drafted you to be. We took a defensive tackle in the top 5. You need to be freaking awesome. So anything less than that, anything the report's saying like, oh, he's still got a ways to go, he's still working on this, it's like, get there. I maybe my expectations are too high. You guys can let me know what you think, but I'm ready for him to, be that guy we're watching on Sundays going, damn, Mason Graham again, I'm not saying he's got to be racking up sacks or anything like that, but I just need him to definitely be making his presence felt.
Yeah, he's got to create chaos, and that's going to be what our defensive ends need. And he's got to push that pocket and collapse it. And I know that doesn't show on the stats, but I mean, when you're watching the game, you will definitely notice that he does need to take another step. I mean, we're putting a lot in a defensive line that has lost Myles Garrett, who had 23 sacks, and they're not going to have that 23 sacks. Jared Verse looks like he's going to be a beast. Malik Collins is still kind of an unknown based on the injury that he's coming in off of. He's actually on the active physically unable list, right? So that's a physically unable to play list is what I'm going to say. So the PUP. And so we don't know where that is. You touched on Mike Hall Jr. So Mason Graham is a has to be at this point, right? Unless we actually go get Vita Vea, which we might want to talk about later. But, I think we need one more defensive body on that, as well as we were talking about the defensive backfield.
Yes. Yeah. And I know we're going to be running up against time here. So we'll just mention real quick, Vita Vea, the Buccaneers are having a lot of trouble getting extensions done with their guys. So 31-year-old, I forget how, 8 or 9 years in the league. He's a Pro Bowler, defensive tackle for the Bucs, has requested
a Super Bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. Requested a trade because they can't get a deal done. And I don't know. I put it out there on socials like, hey, Andrew Berry's always looking to improve the defensive, especially the defensive interior, always. And I feel like he's gotten good deals on older veterans who are still playing at a high level, like Amari Cooper, Zadarius Smith. Could he get a team-friendly trade done for Vita Vea? I don't know. Maybe, but
yeah,
the depth there. We talked about the depth at cornerback, the depth at DT, rough.
Yeah, the depth's really rough. I think we need him because, I mean, really the only run stopper that we have is Kalea Davis, and we don't really know what we're getting with him. We would still maybe keep him, but I think we need somebody to back up Malik Collins if things don't go well or he can't get out for a month or so. And,
if you get Vita Vea, he's starting. He'll be your starter.
Yeah.
Him and Mason.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think it'd be a three-headed monster. You'd have a nice rotation between once Malik comes back. Malik, Mason, Vita, like that would be a good interior right there.
Yeah, I would feel very, very comfortable with that. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Not going to happen, guys. Like we can again. I didn't think Amari Cooper was going to have. No one knew that was coming. I don't think, from what I recall. But
this is wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
All right, let's do a couple more here. We got 3 more categories. We'll do quick. Rookie. who would be your rookie? What is it called? Rookie of training camp award.
Yeah, guys, I am just going to go with receiver. I'm going to go with both Concepcion and I'm going to go with Boston. I mean, either way, the reason why we got them is we need a big alpha receiver on the outside. We need somebody that can do some damage on the inside. I think both the guys are going to make head turns based on what they can do in any offense. And the biggest thing is that I had and this is the reason why I'm having a hard time picking one or the other, is because, well, Boston is going to get his on the outside. I think Concepcion, it just isn't getting a lot of fanfare right now because he's getting a lot of underneath stuff. But once you get him in a game time situation or these scrimmages, you're going to see that he's going to blow some socks off some guys.
Oh, I'm so excited for Casey Concepcion, man. I think he's going to be fun. Going to be fun.
Maybe I should have just picked. I should have just picked the return game in general. That's what I should have picked because we got somebody that can return punts. Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yes. Rookie of training camp for me, Emmanuel McNeil Warren. Didn't practice during OTAs or mini camp. I don't know what was going on there. I don't know if we ever really got any solid information. I think once he gets on the practice field here in training camp, I think he's going to turn heads. Kind of the way we've talked about some of these other guys, because the dude is like a turnover machine, and I think he's going to be impressive. So for me, that would be my pick for rookie.
Yeah, he's the next guy to have the peanut punch, man. Peanut Tillman punched a lot of fumbles out, and I think this guy has the knack as well, and it's going to pay big dividends for us.
Absolutely. All right, practice squad sleeper. Who do you got?
My practice squad sleeper. Oh man, what did I do with that one here? I'm going to go with Logan Fano because he's got a motor. We might need another defensive end. I think two brothers playing together would be a fantastic story. I know that doesn't really mean anything for football, but I mean, I've liked what people have had to say for his motor and his drive. So I think he's somebody that's going to make our practice squad just based on his give a damn factor.
I think there's a chance Logan Fano makes the active roster.
Really? You think he's going to take out Okwara, I guess?
I think he can definitely beat out Julian Okwara. I think Okwara is more of a practice squad candidate for me than Logan Fano. But that's because I've seen Okwara. Huh. And it's whatever. We haven't seen Fano. So there's like that unknown. He could be something.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree, man.
So I think I took this one the wrong way, this practice squad sleeper. So I put down Donovan McMillan, the UDFA safety from last season, and I just wasn't thinking of this question the same way you were. I think I was wrong. But the Browns need more than just the three safeties, and I think Donovan McMillan can be that fourth rotational guy to spell the main three. And, just kind of looking through the safeties on the depth chart, I think he's that guy who in year two here could definitely impress, get himself onto the 53 and actually play some meaningful snaps on defense.
Yeah, no, I can see that too, man. Like I've heard his name dropped a couple times because like one thing about camp predictions is we're basing a lot of this stuff on minicamp, right? And when you base your stuff on minicamp, you don't get a lot of tape to watch. So ultimately, you're like hearing for names dropped. And I've heard his quite a few times from different guys that analyze the Browns, whether it's Cleveland or outside of Cleveland. So I mean, it's definitely a guy that could pop in there.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Last one here, and then there's a couple things in the chat I think we'll just hit real fast before we wrap it up. But most improved player for training camp. Who do you got?
But the name I keep hearing, and I've said this a couple times on this program, is Amani Marshall. I just keep hearing that he looks really good out of the backfield. He's really catching the ball, and I think he's going to pop. And it's surprising to me because he's a bigger dude and he did not catch the ball out of the backfield. But I think he can make this team on special teams merit alone, and it's not returning. It's just like blocking and doing what you need to do on special teams, maybe even being a gunner. But he can do that. And the other thing is of all the running backs, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I hear a running backs coach saying that he's one of the better pass blockers on the team. And that goes a long way for Deuce.
It goes a long way for any competent offense. You got to be able to block. Real quick, Chantel Marie here says, I like that linebacker they got too, Justin Jefferson. Me too. He was my other name at biggest surprise. So I like Justin Jefferson at the linebacker spot. I think he's going to fit in nicely with Carson and Quincy. I think that's going to be he's going to be really good on special teams. I think that's where he'll make his mark early on, and then he'll grow. And then, Blackacre, Whiteacre. You got my two here. So you predicted my most improved player. I had to. First of all, I said I want this to be Mason Graham. I just want the reports out of camp to be like unblockable. Can't stop him. Mauling people. Like always in the backfield. That's what I want to hear about Mason Graham. But then but it's probably going to end up being Isaiah Bond, who I think has definitely shown drastic improvements from last year, which makes a lot of sense. The dude didn't even get on the roster until after preseason. So he missed a lot. He missed a lot of development time last year. So Isaiah Bond, and then I put Shedeur Sanders because why not? I think that what he did. I was going to say this about Shedeur. The fact that he was able to change Mary Kay Cabot's mind over OTAs and minicamp, that means he's improving quite a bit, I think.
Yeah, you know what? Shedeur, I think he'll do his thing. I think he's locked in. I like that you said Bond. I can't believe that I actually passed that one up for most improved, because when you come into camp and you've got 10 pounds more on your frame or 15, whatever it was, and you're still running the same crisp routes, like good for him. Like he's put some time in, and that's probably going to show on the field. And I'm looking forward to him because he seems like we're giving all the clout to Boston, but he's showed up and showed out.
Yeah. And it makes me more excited for our wide receiver core than I have been for several years now, really, because they're young. Okay. So we might have to limit our expectations, at least for the beginning of the season. You got two rookies. They're not going to come out and be these elite wide receiver one alpha dogs right off the bat. That's what we're hoping they can turn into, or at least somewhere along the way to that. But between those two guys, Isaiah Bond, that's a good young core at the wide receiver position. Even if none of them actually turn into an alpha commanding, target hog receiver one for this team, maybe you get that guy next year, or you trade for somebody or whatever. But I like those three players a ton.
Yeah, somebody just asked if we think that Marshall will overtake Sanders. We did an episode on that. It's basically what I just said. Ultimately, he's Marshall's a great receiver out of the backfield, which he didn't show in college. He can pass block and can play special teams. As far as Raheem Sanders, he has got some fantastic physical attributes and is a great runner. I don't know if he catches the ball as well, and he doesn't play special teams, I don't think. So it'll be interesting to see how that battle shapes out.
It will be, and I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like you're more on the side of Marshall can overtake Sanders, and I think I'm more on the side of I think Sanders has it over him. So that will be interesting to see how it plays out.
It's a tough call for me because, I was on the rocket train last year, and I wanted to see that guy get some more carries.
Go with your gut, man. If you got a feeling on Marshall, go with it.
Well, my feeling is that he can just do more on the team, and so just with the special teams ability and the blocking ability, I think that might be there. But they didn't actually spend any assets, on Sanders. Nope. So they both acquired them
off waivers. So
yeah.
I mean, it could honestly go either way. And you're talking about year two for both of these guys. So
that's right.
They've got a year under their belt. They've got experience. maybe one guy has developed or continues to develop a little quicker, progresses faster than the other guy. We'll see how that plays out. That's why it's so interesting. And the Browns have such a young roster. And it's an interesting time for fans because there is a lot of unknowns. We don't know what these guys can be. We have high hopes for players. Not every one of these guys is going to hit the way we want them to. That's just the reality of the situation. But if a majority of them can, that's how good teams get good and stay good. You're able to draft guys that develop, turn into good players for your team consistently, year after year. And if we put 2 years in a row of this together with Andrew Berry, I'm good. I'm feeling better about this team.
Yeah, me too, man.
Question here. What do you guys think about Cole Wilson at wide receiver? He's really fast. I'm intrigued by some of these, Aaron Anderson, some of these UDFAs that the Browns have in here. I think ultimately that wide receiver, let's say they keep 6. I think you got your 4 with Boston Concepcion, Bond, and Jeudy. And then I think your last 2 are going to come down between Tillman, Corley, Larvidan, Wallace. I think Wallace probably has a spot locked up.
I think Wallace does too. I think he's one of your premier gunners in the league, and he has a special teams ability. He's actually not a bad blocker when he's in the run game either. So I think that kind of, I don't want to say locks him up, but he definitely has 1 foot forward.
Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, kind of looking at a lot of guys fighting for that, but I think Cole Wilson could be a guy who makes it to the practice squad. And we've been Browns fans a long time, Kenny. You know how it goes. Injuries happen. We end up seeing wide receivers that were like, oh, I remember that guy from the preseason. And now we had to call him up to play against the Steelers or whatever. Just the way it goes.
Aaron Anderson or Cole Wilson, there'll be guys that will be in the preseason. They'll be fourth quarter. One of those 2 guys is going to be a fourth quarter star, and people are going to be like, oh my God, they're playing so often. Somebody's got to catch the ball in the fourth quarter, and they're playing against third and fourth stringers. As soon as they play against second stringers, like we saw DTR, they're not very good. So
we call that the Austin Watkins effect. That was his name,
the
right?
Austin Watkins effect. Yes, I was just kind of running my mouth till I could figure that name out. But maybe I'll make Cole Wilson my practice squad sleeper. I'll change my mind then.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was for anybody who's not familiar. It was a couple years ago. Austin Watkins, wide receiver for the Browns. I think he led the entire NFL in receiving for the preseason, didn't he?
For the preseason, yes, he did.
Stud,
that's right.
Stud. I mean, looked like a beast out there. He was mossing people and trucking people and just dude.
Well, you gotta don't forget DTR was making runs and throwing wild plays, and he's throwing them to Watkins, man. And everyone's like, why aren't these 2 playing more? And I'm like, there's a reason. It's the fourth quarter of preseason, man.
Yes, the guys they're playing against probably won't even play in the UFL. So,
it's exactly.
Preseason's tough, guys. It really is, because it's hard to gauge what you're seeing out there. But over the years of doing this podcast, I feel like we've gotten better at that, of kind of discerning what's a good takeaway from a preseason game and what's I don't worry about that so much. So we're continuing to learn and get better, and we'll help you guys along too, and you guys help us, and we appreciate all the feedback as always. But thank you guys. We're going to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight. This is great. A big news day with the Browns dropping that Denzel Ward extension. Again, if you guys missed that, go back to the beginning of the show, check that out. Locked him up for a nice extension here. And it's just awesome that training camp's here. We finally have football.
Well, I can't wait to see what's going to happen tomorrow, man.
Yes, get out on the field, guys. Let's get those. Please, for the love of God, can we avoid the injuries? Because the Achilles last year for Martin Emerson, we talk about a gut punch. We were so excited for that cornerback trio, and it was sucked. But stay healthy, guys. Practice hard, and make us proud. Make us proud.
Yeah, let's go Browns, man. Get that line together. Let's go.
Hey, if you guys want to play fantasy football with us, that is coming up soon. Remember, the deadline's going to be about 2 weeks. I haven't set a firm cutoff date. I'll let you know when that is. But just get in now. Go to jointhedogs.com. Sign up for the Patreon. Sync up with the private Discord. Hang out with everybody in there. It is an awesome online community of diehard Browns fans. So if We had people in there the other day, they were messaging me saying, hey, I want to connect with a couple of these other guys in the Discord because I might be in their local area. Maybe we can, link up for games, go to a bar, whatever. Like if you're looking for that kind of stuff, a bigger community just around yourself, it'd be a great place to start looking for awesome people. So go to jointhedogs.com again, then submit your registration for fantasy and you're in and you'll be good to go.
Yeah, man. We have a blast doing this.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do, Kenny. All right. We'll see you guys on the live again next week. Me and Kenny might have another episode for you guys coming out later this week. We got to work on some schedule stuff, but it's training camp time. It's going to be a ton of fun. Make sure you guys follow us on the socials for all the updates in real time. We will see you guys in the next episode. Let's go Brownies. Kenny Barkham out.
Let's go. Ho, 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 ho.
Yeah! It's in our blood, it's in our bones, orange and brown, yeah, we ride for our own like a dog pack running. We ain't alone, game day comes, get ready for the show. It's our call, it's our bark, it's our song. We stand tall, yeah, we've been here all along. Through it all, the dog pound standing strong. We all dogs, yeah, we all dogs. Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dogs Podcast. Follow us on social media at the Dogs Podcast and join our dog pack community at jointhedogs.com. We are dogs!
This episode is sponsored by ISSA. Browns fans, if you're into health and fitness, have you ever wondered how you could maybe turn those hobbies and your passion into an actual career? If that sounds interesting to you, then ISSA has the opportunity you've been looking for. ISSA is the International Sports Science Association, and they can help you become a certified personal trainer in as little as 3 months. And right now you can get $100 off your certification when you sign up through our link, joinissa.com/dogs, DAWGS. Now, certifications are 100% online, self-study, and self-paced. You can study anywhere from your phone, tablet, or computer. And the final exam is open note, open book, aka piece of cake. Except you fitness nuts probably don't eat a ton of cake, so let's just call it a piece of delicious protein bar. And ISSA has the #1 job guarantee in the industry. If you get certified and sign up to be a certified trainer with ISSA, you have a job guarantee or your money back. ISSA has over 10,000 gym partners that have over 73,000 open jobs for trainers right now. And you don't need a 4-year degree or a 2-year degree. You just need your certification to qualify for these jobs. So what are you waiting for? With certification this simple, there's no excuse not to pursue your passion and become a certified personal trainer today. Get $100 off your certification at joinissa.com/dogs. You've wanted to make a change long enough. Now it's time to do something about it. That's joinissa.com/dogs for $100 off your personal trainer certification.
Most people don't realize how much their personal information is being bought and sold every day. Data brokers are making billions, pulling details about you from public records and the internet, and then packaging and selling it, usually without your consent. That's how your information lands in the hands of scammers, spammers, even stalkers. It's why you get endless robocalls and why ads seem to follow you everywhere. That's where Aura comes in. Aura actively removes your data from broker sites and keeps it off. They also instantly alert you if your information shows up in a breach or on the dark web. But Aura goes beyond data protection. With one app, you get a VPN, antivirus, password manager, spam call protection, dark web monitoring, and even up to $5 million in identity theft insurance, all backed by 24/7 US-based fraud support. Other companies might sell just credit monitoring or just a VPN. Aura gives you all of it, together, at the same price competitors charge for just one service. Start your free trial today at aura.com/remove. Protect yourself now at aura.com/remove.